the grandson of Right Thought. This message is to the so-called black woman. You sisters. Just like the wheat and tares are being separated on every level, so are you. And see, for the last 400 years, you've been under the hand of an oppressor. So you've had a man leading you, or a husband guiding you, that has been a false husband of yours. And you don't recognize your true husband. You see? You've been led by a false husband who's been leading you with doctrines and teachings that don't line up with the true ways of your man. So that's why you're finding enmity and strife between you and your man, the relationship that y'all are having, your true man. You can't bring the ways of your enemies into a relationship with the ways of your man. It'll never work. And you have to know now that you've been brainwashed and deceived by an enemy. Cain has tricked you from the beginning. So, Cain's father tricked you from the beginning, and that's how we got Cain. And Cain and his descendants have been tricking your descendants, your daughters. Didn't Abba say that your seed and the serpent seed was going to have enmity? You see? Cain and the so-called Hebrew woman, the so-called black woman, the Hebrew woman. Y'all going to have beef. So your man who's correcting you and yelling and screaming is because he's pulling you out of the fire. Though you may not understand it. He's pulling you out of the ways of the heathens who taught you to be loud, disrespectful, whorish, unchaste, impatient, rude, disrespectful. All of those things, impudent, shameless. Those are not the ways of your father. That is not the ways of your husband. That is the ways of the world, the heathen, that have tricked you and made you his bitch. And that's just the truth of the matter. And now Cain is trying to pass you off to another nigga now, Red China. He's trying to pass you over to the Chinese man now. So that he can put his ways on you. And make you his new bitch. So that he can have the earth. Which is what you represent, sister. The earth. Was not man birthed from the earth? So Abba Yah's spirit was put into the body which was made by the earth. The same thing, a man puts his spirit into you and you're carrying that egg, which is the body. That spirit goes into, from that sperm goes into that egg and sparks life. Same thing. So he who controls your minds controls this earth. So you're going to give your mind over to your enemies, or you're going to give your mind back to your husband and back to your head. Back to Abba Yah, your shepherd, who ain't going to lead you astray. Because the way this world is going is they're using your feeling. I told you, your feeling. And see, this is why you don't get along with your man, because he's your thought. Thought and feeling that don't match will not stand. The house divided cannot stand. So when your enemy has been telling you to kick your man out and then raise your children in his ways, this is why you have enmity with your man. Yes, you're bearing your man's child, but you're giving your child over to the beast system, who's trying to corrupt your child, trying to get you to change the image of your boys into girls, the image of your girls into boys. That is not the ways of the Most High. That is your enemy that's done this. So it's about time that we put this hatred for each other away, this backbiting and this fighting away, and that we both, as brothers and sisters, stand on the rock of truth together at last, with our hands clasped together, like we once did. It's time we do that again. And that when we have a disagreement, we just go to the word of the Most High together, just like Sarah and Abraham did. Let's go to Abba Yah and see what he's got to say about the matter. This is the way that we have to do. Like Jeremiah said, return to the old paths, and there you shall find peace for your soul. You shall find rest there in the old ways, the ways that are pleasing to the Most High. Standing on his rock of truth together, male and female as one. No longer being deceived by your enemies that's tricking you, sister. And you know they tricking you. They got you eating a diet. They got you wearing their hairstyles. They got you wearing their clothing. They got you altering your bodies. They got you feeling like you're not enough. You got to know that you got a husband already that love you and that just wants you to do right, want you to come back home. Stop being deceived by this world and what feels good. Subjecting your feelings back to divine right, back to divine thought, because that is your divine right. To be covered by the loving embrace of Abba Yah. Because it is no shame to be covered. It's no shame to be loved, to be provided for and taken care of. There's no shame there. You don't have to be Miss Independent. That's a lie. You never were created that way. You were created to be a rib, a help that is meet for the kingdom's sake. And in helping your husband, you are helping yourself, because y'all are one. And your husband is your brother, is your people that do the will of the Most High. What did Yahushua say? My mother and my brother are those who do the will of the Most High. What did Solomon and his beloved one, how did they speak to each other? My sister, my dove, my undefiled. That's how we're to speak to one another. We must understand that we are brothers and sisters, lovers, parents, mama, daddy, cousins, uncles to each other. We're everything that we need to be to each other in the moments that we need to be it, because we are the children of I Am. You see? So shake off all of the lies of that deceiver that's been lying to you since the beginning, separating you from the one that loves you, your man, and come back home. Silawam Yisrael.